Got a lot of books.
What do you got?
Got a lot of books. Oh,
Well, as you can see
sugar.
in my home office slash bedroom slash closet slash kitchen slash bathroom, um, I didn't get much done on the fact of interior decorating. So it's just a lot of a lot of blank space. But
We,
I look at it as an empty canvas to
I
paint
think
my
it's good.
dreams on.
Paint what you would like, and that'll be sufficient. Um,
No.
this is actually a shrine to my sister. There's boxes of her around this basement. I will not show the viewers all two of us, mean two and you, but it's okay. It's okay because
Yeah.
someone's
Right.
we're gonna look.
I don't
'Cause once
care.
this,
If
I
you
don't
don't care,
care.
I don't care. We're the only two
Right?
that watch this, so it doesn't matter.
It's it's fine. Everything's fine. But I think
It'll be okay.
once we get full blown access to the medias, we're gonna link people right back here. And we're gonna say, if you want Logan's personal cell phone number, here it is. It's gonna just jet across the screen.
That's been flash up. Single and
Ladies,
looking. Flashing.
single and looking. 419. 419er.
We're in the 419 area code.
Yeah. Gary V talks about document everything.
Sure.
Just document. He doesn't talk about like he's not saying like it has to be watered precise. Just literally document. Just just throw it out there. Going to the mall today. Interviewing random people on the
Sure.
street. Put it
Sure.
on your go live with it, you know?
And tie it with like a picture or a video.
Yeah, just like I don't even know where that came from. I was just looking around at my vision board and all this stuff that's on there, talking about goals, priorities, vision, 1 through 9, core values, what to look for in a spouse, uh, what is the best version of me, why do you want to do this? If my dream comes true, whose glory would it be more important, mine or God's? Who are we working with? Um, Ben, you're amidst the timeout. You're amidst the timeout. You take, not a penalty, but just like you're taking a breather. Um,
You wrote that on your whiteboard?
gonna, I just said, Ben, you're amidst a timeout.
Sure. Sure.
Not like you're a timeout, but just like a coach. I need some water.
Yeah. Take a
Coach, I
breather.
need some water.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh wow. Any hooser.
What'd you get into?
What are we gonna? It's a great question. I love when you ask me that question. I really think I love to hear myself talk. And I was listening to a video
I love
last
it.
night and you're talking about authenticity and talking about this being real.
Yeah.
Anyone who like does these videos or posts videos that doesn't like the way, doesn't want to hear themselves talk or doesn't believe in the things that are coming out of their mouths or, you know what I mean? Or don't
Yeah.
believe that there's value in what they're saying. They
Right.
wouldn't even post it so that other people could see it. That's my point. So
Yeah.
we can just stop lying, and I'm going to stop lying to myself. Like I like myself. I'm going to keep sharing.
I like you for sure. Yeah.
Oh, sugar.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did we get into today? What was today? We went to the good old YMCA. Last night was pretty exciting. Work last night, good 6 hours. And I went into work, and yesterday was a little bit of the emotional high roller coaster until I got there. But I got there, and we just dialed in. And I literally made a decision going in there. I said, my mindset was, I'm going to train people for free. I'm going to walk around this floor, and it was a floor shift that doesn't have anyone to personal train, but I'm just going to say, hey, if you want training, I'm going to train you. And I ended up training 7 13-year-olds
Really?
at once. Yeah, it was sick. Yeah, we went through a little like dumbbell series, some bent over rows, and like did some like, you know, like ball, like over the head,
Were these
throw, like ball throws. Pretty
like
good athletes.
junior high athletes? That's what I was going to
Yeah,
ask.
yeah, they were just there at the gym. These two kids were trying to figure out the new Kaiser machines, and I was like, so I was walking them through it, and I was like, "You guys, what are you guys doing right now?" I overheard them talking. His father's gonna pick him up at 8 o'clock. I was like, "Perfect." So you guys want to train right now? Let's go for a half hour. And next thing you know, we started training, and then their buddies came walking over, and they all trained. So there was like 7 of us going through a little
Oh
workout.
my
So
God.
yeah, it was sweet. And I was like the floor was the floor. Like you didn't have to clean it up or do much. You just we rearranged the dumbbells and we made sure the area was cleaned up. So I was like, this week was good. Yeah, yesterday 2 clients this week in the first week. That was pretty good. One lady's going to start in October. She's going on vacation for like 2 weeks. So and another guy, Steven today. We did some high volume. We went through 2 sets of like 10 different exercises on the minute, every 45 to a minute. And he was pretty like you could tell by literally his last set of side lateral raises. He was like toast. He could only get like 8 reps.
Yeah.
But it was good. He wants to gain 10 pounds in 4 weeks. And I said, well, you're going to have to eat like a madman. Don't eat junk, but eat like a madman. Try to hit your BMR minimum every day.
Put them
And
on the
then
405 appetite diet.
we're going to get him on the 405, 38 egglets a week minimum.
Yeah. That's a legit program. The 405 is a legit program. If you want it, email Ben. What's your email again? What's
The
your
Vision at
yeah.
the Vision 139 at gmail.com. That's the Vision 139.
He can get you the 405 program.
What I'm going to do is if all of you call me and you want that program, I'm going to call Logan immediately, and he's going to distribute that information on a sticky note through a picture message
Right through
from
his
his
scanner.
phone, right through his scanner, right over to me. It falls somewhere. So you go to Aldi, you find your closest Aldo's, and you go to the section where they have the egglets. They're going to cost you 48 cents. You're going to get about 7 dozen of those egglets. You're going to eat 1 dozen a day for breakfast with about 6 chicken sausages. And you're going to do about 2 weeks of 15 plus reps of volume. You're going to be looking at a good 2,000 repetitions a week.
Breakfast is a lot of poultry. Reps are high. Yeah, it originated at the 405, and if you want to squat 405, you can follow it. If you want to bench 405, you can pretty much follow it.
I gained legit, I think 3 or 4 pounds in like those 2 weeks, just eating and lifting at a volume that was absurd. I remember like Jane made a comment. I was like, she's like, "Wow, what are you doing?" I was like, "It's the Winthrop program, babe. Okay,
It's the 405.
You're not hearing me, girl. Logan's in charge now. Okay."
We just got into an 18-wheeler, and we hit the 405 going 82 miles an hour, and it was no looking back.
No looking back.
4,500 calories per meal.
I should just send Steve right to the Winthrop for the next 4 weeks. Just, hey, you're going to pack up your stuff. You're going to substitute teach in Ohio for the next 4 weeks. You're going to live and lift with Logan. You're going to be just fine. You might even get to 20 pounds.
Oh yeah. So it's good. It sounds like a good night last night. Sounds like
yeah, today was the same. 4 days. I know you asked me about today, but today was 4 hours. That was good.
Nice.
Trained him today. That was good. His first session. Had a couple other, and then I went to my grandparents. Had 3 cheeseburgers, no buns, salad with the Ken's Italian dressing, the best Italian dressing on the planet.
What is
a lot
it?
of vinegar, a lot of oil. Ken's. Ken's. Wow, the best.
Ken's
it's like
Ken's.
Ken's. Like if you got this in your eyeballs, you're done. You're done for. Like if you got a little bit of that in your eye.
The way I eat salad, I'd get it in my eye.
Oh yeah, call the fire department.
Like you can't.
It's like runny enough where you enter your fork enters into the wedge lettuce.
Yeah.
And like you just get sprayed with Ken's.
A lot of spray going on at the salad bar.
A lot of spray. Yeah, and then you get, you put 3 burgers. You put 1 burger on your plate, and you get a little pasta salad. You eat that, and you're like, oh, okay, still hungry. Then you go down, you get another burger. You put a little mustard, a little hot sauce on there, and then you eat that, with a little bit more salad, a little bit more or pasta salad. And then you go inside and you said to yourself, yeah, I'm done. And then there's the other burger, the third one sitting there, and you're like, well, I feel bad because this is sitting there, so someone should take care of it. Put a little more Gulden's on there, no fork, no knife. You just slurp that right home.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yes, good day. How about you?
It's good. Church, nephew was baptized today.
Nice.
Yeah, little Wes. So that was fun. Our family was there. And then, I went home, hung out with my grandpa.
Oh, yeah.
Talked stocks. Well, Clay talked stocks with him for a while. I was just kind of listening in and out. Not my forte, but
right.
Talk market. And then, Clay and I went out. We have a compost pile, so we put some manure. We got some manure from the hog pen and put some manure on the compost heap. Stirred it up. Splattered on some manure for that. Oh, it's been rainy. It's been rainy and rainy, cloudy, and pretty cool, chilly past couple days.
Great, really, really good.
So not much going on outside. Friday was blown. I was just doing research till like 8 o'clock at night, and then I just went home, just packed it up and went home. Couldn't rip myself away from the spreadsheet.
That's going to be huge for you down the road, by the way. The attention to detail is.
It feels detrimental right now, but
sure.
It was good. No, Saturday was what the heck we do Saturday? Saturday was
football.
Something, I don't even know.
Football?
Oh, yeah. Buckeyes play. FAU, steamrolled FAU. Hopefully that continues through the entire season. But yeah, watch the Buckeyes. Oh, we went out. We cooked out. We cooked out breakfast at the park.
Yeah.
There's a small lake with a forest, and so Clay and I went and cooked out some breakfast, and the family came and we ate.
Really?
Yeah, it was good. It was really good. Beautiful morning.
That's
like crisp morning with the fog kind of coming in off the lake.
Come on.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Not too foggy, but like not too sunny either. The sun was there, but it wasn't like burning down.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful morning. That was fun.
Wow.
Yeah, then it was football. It was it's pretty much football the rest of the day. It's just out. It was raining. It was crappy. It was a football day for sure. So
that's good.
Good to kind of just out.
Your dad loves watching. Loves Buckeyes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's on the list. If you're gonna come over, you gotta root for the right team. It's on the list.
Don't even think about bringing a blue shirt in that place.
Yeah. Whatever color they're playing that week, just completely don't wear it. Just wear something. Just wear gray. Wear gray or white or black or all white.
Oregon's in town? Well, you're not wearing yellow.
Yeah. Oh, you got a little bit of yellow on your shoe? What are you, an Oregon fan?
What do you like, Oregon? Freaking crazy. You know where you're at?
Yeah. Know your surroundings when you come into 419 territory. Yeah, that was it though, man. Today was pretty slow. It's rainy and cool. Went to Meyer. Got lost in Meyer a few times.
Welcome to Meyer.
Yeah.
Thanks for choosing Meyer.
Ended up taste testing half the stuff on the shelves. Ended up taste testing crisp cereal right in the aisle.
Right. Slamming cans off the ground. Microsoft went down 3 points.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I was trying to get some planning done this week. And yeah, I think marketing is going to have to play a major role in what I'm going to be doing here. 'Cause I think it's just going to be direct marketing. It's not going to be on the trade market. It's going to have to be direct marketed to really be successful. So you
Right.
were talking about social media. I think I'm going to need to get some social media. Um, so anybody out there that's listening to that, social media is coming. But
Race for impact.
race for impact.
Because it's coming too. Like when we says it's coming, like you've all seen it and heard of a typhoon.
Yeah,
You're gonna be getting
yeah.
you're gonna get land you're getting pinned.
You're gonna get flattened. But yeah, so just thinking, kind of contemplating this weekend. Talking about this weekend. A lot of this weekend was just thinking about like, yeah, you can start whatever you want, but can you market it?
Yeah, there's
A
a
lot of
lot of
time, a
talk.
lot of energy, and I think that's going to play a role in what we start growing.
Sure.
But yeah, just a thought. That's kind of been on my mind this weekend. Marketing's been on my mind. Obviously, like we talked about, relationships. If you're, yeah,
I
relation.
like that. No, I've been dealing with the marketing thing too, like uh, how to best the Visible Touch. I'm reading right now. Gary V's Vaynerchuk's book. Um, Branding your faith. Like all these, they're similar themes, and obviously the person who brought these books out, there's a Dave Jones. He obviously thinks that there's obviously he sees a similarity, but a lot of these books they're pointing to the same couple, two, three things. So much content out there. At some point, you got to kind of narrow it, kind of just go and see what
Yeah.
works, right? And these there's similar themes in these books, and making sure your brand is um, like your personal brand and being authentic and like developing a personal brand, and what is your personal brand and how to do that, how to get that out there, staying true to it, being authentic. um, what, like, who are you targeting, like uh, those types of things are all consistent. And yeah, there's obviously nuances and details within that, but like you said, how you're going to do it, social media, which is free, or like I've been thinking how maybe I need to throw, maybe I have like $500 or $300 I could throw, maybe three, I don't know how much, like how many door to door things I put in the mail. You gave me that idea, and I've been thinking about doing that. I really think that I'm just going to get a flyer together, something that's going to just
Yeah.
scream value, and then put it
Send it
in
to
the
the post
mailbox.
office. Yeah. Right.
So
Right. I
yeah,
think
it's
yeah, all these avenues have to funnel back to the one spot where people can see what you have and pay for it.
yeah,
Um,
get it, yeah, direct them. Where are we directing them?
right. So you want to directing them to a detailed page where they can pay for it, um, or at least know where to come buy it. But yeah, that funnel process of like, okay, we've got these 4 marketing avenues, but they've got to lead to this one spot to get this one desired outcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the whole piece of the marketing plan and the business plan is who's your demographic, who's your target. It's like you can easily say, well, anybody, but at the same time, the more you narrow that down, the more you get a detailed picture of what that looks like. Um, the easier it can be to just take your marketing to the next level. Because eventually, I mean, there's so much high tech marketing going on right now that's based on, it can even be based on your age and your internet search, and people are marketing to that targeted of a group.
Right. I swear I've seen things on my Facebook from things I've thought. I don't even know if I said them. I swear I thought them and ads showed up. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I don't know what Zuckerberg's up to, but he better stay out of my frickin' mind.
For sure. I just saw a spider back there. Just crawling around. We'll let him go.
Hey, Logan.
Maybe he's my pet. I don't know. Maybe he's.
I'm gonna bite you, Logan.
Ooh, holy smokes! Sorry.
Yeah, but
Oh, there he is.
what do we know about? What's the relationship situation in your situation?
Well, besides being.
What is our situation, Dad?
Got him. He's dead.
You're dead.
A spider.
You're dying.
It was an ant.
Heck, he won't be climbing up any hills anytime soon.
Yep, he's not going to be climbing through my nose tonight.
A little tickle in your esophagus?
Yeah, last time I slept with a pet spider, it ended up in my esophagus.
There's a tarantula
Been in a web.
between my pharynx and my larynx.
I got to get a charger real quick, and then we're going to talk relationals.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'm going to brace for impact.
Okay.
I'm going to spicy.
Okay. So you want to run the commercial? You want to advertise our cleaning?
This is where we would love to. Like we could talk about what was Peter Pan. What are the guys down there in Columbus? What are they talking about? Peter Pan, like the consolidating your loans.
Yeah.
Hit up Peter Pan for consolidation.
Yeah. No, it's Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
Peter Pan's our marketing, or Peter Pan's our investing platform. It's called Peter Pan.
Hey, perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
So we can get you guys signed up for that when it starts existing.
We bring that into existence.
I'm going to pause this real quick.
That guy's funny.
Yeah, that guy is a classic.
Yeah, gifted.
Wow.
What's your record for consecutive questions asked? 38. I'm a kid. My job.
So yeah,
All right.
What's going on? What are we talking about? Relationships?
Yeah, we'll give it. What time is it? We're going. We'll say 45. Shutter. Yeah. What do we want to know? A lot of.
Yeah, I think we if you want to talk about your relationship, send us an email.
Yeah, 100%. We're gonna get this up and running to the point where we're gonna hopefully get this. Yeah, you can call in, and then we'll have obviously the information below. But right now, we're just gonna be faithful with a little. And yeah, but we'll just say our email, right?
Yeah.
Send us an email.
So go do yours. What's yours?
Vision139. The Vision TheVision 139er at gmail.com. Thevision139@gmail.com.
Mine's eaton.135 at osu.edu. EATON.135 at osu.edu. Hit us up.
Yeah.
Send us an email. Shoot us an email. And
text massage.
We'll talk about it. We're talking relationships. We'll talk about yours. We'll talk about ours, or lack thereof.
Lack thereof. We'd love to come alongside you and just help process some of the things that I don't know that over the last year it's been obviously fighting to get in church, right? And on Sunday, just trying to put yourself before the Word of God and stuff. But just my own experience over the last couple of years, maybe it's the demographic that of which I've been involved with personally, or what have you. I think there's a couple of needs or just problems to be met within our church, and it has to do with shaping and developing. And there's a plethora of knowledge. Like you're going to get a whole lot of knowledge today in the faith. It's like the one thing that I would like to see, and one thing that really, gets me out of bed, so to speak, is, would be seeing or providing like quality, like, let's be excited to talk about marriage, right? Like, not this holding on, not this like message about, like, stop talking about the divorce rate and let's start talking about development of what it should be. Like, let's get fired up for this. Because I don't know about, I know, well, I know you, but like we talk about, it's a, like, I literally have tears coming down my eyes thinking about the opportunity to spend your life with somebody. Like, that is an amazing blessing. It's a favor.
Yeah.
It's legit a favor.
Sure.
Like, you get a flat tire pulled over on the side of the road and it's rainy, and someone pulls over in the middle of that rain, comes over alongside you and helps you, right? As your family sits in the car and waits for you to jack that car up, like that, you know what I mean? I just thought of, like, that just came to my mind, but like an absolute favor, right? And that's not my word, that's God. So my point is,
Right.
I just think that there could be just a bit of development, and this is maybe a call for you and I to really consider some of this, or how we're going to show up in our church, whatever. But
Right.
like, let's get excited about development. Let's get excited about developing young men and young women to just really be like pumped about it, be excited about it, like
Right.
to lead in that, to not be afraid of it, or like there's this big pressure. How do we preach a message that says, um, like, you're not going to have it all figured out, but what do you have that's solid? Are you both able to communicate that to each other, and are both, families on board if it's healthy, or even, even if it's not, but are you both able to look each other in the eyes and have an honest conversation about, yeah, I'm going to lay down my life for you, I'm going to lay down my life for you, and I like you, we get along, we get a lot of jam, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And then just signing up for commitment, like you're signing up for sunshine and rainbows, as well as sanctification. And
Yeah.
the testing of your faith is a real thing. It's not just going to end because you got married, you know what I mean? So it's like just knowing what you're signing up for. And I think we need to do a better job of just maybe, like, what are we sharing about that, and what are we getting people ready for, excited for? Like, not this like holding on message, but more of like, this is awesome, like,
Right.
you get to do this,
Right.
like, frick the statistics. Like, if you're worried about the statistics, you're in the way. Like, you're kind of just like fueling the issue.
Right.
And this is a full-blown vent right now. So, but
Sure.
it is I'll take credit, not take credit, but we'll just say, we did come together in prayer before this. So
Yeah.
feels like I'm flipping a table right now. I might
right.
be.
That's all right. My desk is almost broken. We can flip that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I just had a bunch of thoughts there as you're talking about all that. It just seems like there's an atmosphere, and it's typical when you get into the 20 to 30-year-old age group, and now people aren't getting married as early as what it used to be. There's this atmosphere of like, yeah, especially in the church and the Christian community, everybody wants to get married. Everybody wants, so badly. It's this massive desire to get married. But I think a lot of it's just like this desire for intimacy. And then when you do find somebody and you come together and you have that sexual intimacy, and then all these other things start coming up, like, that you didn't really even think about before you knew you wanted to get married. So I think there's just like, just be careful. Like, we got to be careful. Like, when we talked last week, like, you got to be careful when you get emotionally attached to somebody. It's hard to set boundaries to keep that emotional expression for somebody kept only on the emotional side, because the only way to really truly express that emotional energy towards somebody that you love, that you like, is to express it physically. That's obviously sex. That's where sex comes in. And as a church, we try to draw boundaries. Like, yeah, you can have emotional, attachment to somebody, but don't you dare go to the physical side. And then everyone wants to get married and has this desire to get married because they know they can't cross that physical line. So it's like, yeah, I got to get married so I can cross that physical line and express this emotional energy that I have towards somebody. And that engulfs all the desire of getting married. And then we don't know what marriage is when we get into it. We don't know how to live with somebody. We don't know how to operate with somebody. We don't know what it's like dealing with somebody's strengths and weaknesses and dealing with our own strengths and weaknesses. And that's why we get these statistics that all these marriages are blown in the Christian church. And so you got to take a step. We've got to teach what it is. I've got to learn what it is. We've got to teach what it is and what it entails, and tell people like it's okay to want this for sure, but you've got to want it for the right. You've got to want it for the right reason. You want to express it for the right reason, and there's just this overwhelming, it seems like this overwhelming pressure to get married because we talk so much about detaching and separating the emotional connection for somebody from the physical connection from somebody. So that everybody's like, yeah, the only way I can get to that physical part, which is what everything inside of me wants, is to get married. So I've got to find somebody, and then we've got to set these boundaries that keep everything separated and compartmentalized. When in reality, it's like you do want to find somebody, but as soon as you start having that emotional energy, that emotional connection, and it starts to build and build and build, it's like the next thing is marriage, and you've got to be ready for that. You've got to be ready for that,
Right.
because there's no dating for, we're going to date for a year and then get engaged for a year. Try to separate that emotional energy from that physical expression. You're going to drive yourself insane for 2 years. You're going to drive yourself insane.
Insanity.
And email us if you figured out a way to do that for 2 years and remain pure like that. Email us, because that seems to be a major issue. I've stumbled in that. I'm sure you have your stories. So
Retweet.
Yeah. So
Instagram that.
So everybody wants to get married, but nobody's really knows what's going to happen and why they want to get married, and except for that, that physical expression and what it's going to look like living with somebody, teaming with somebody. I mean, there's so much more to it, but it's like, we can get on fire for that. We can get excited about that. But let's not get excited. Let's not just get all excited up about it because we're just crossing that line from the emotional to the physical. Then we get to do that. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. But it really is, like you said, it's a blessing to be able to do life with somebody, and you want to go into it, well equipped to do life with somebody. I think that comes after a time of you sitting with yourself and asking yourself who you are, and asking yourself where you want to go, asking yourself who do you say God is, and asking yourself these questions and getting answers for these things. Because you can't, it's hard to lead somebody and not have the answers to those questions about yourself and who you say God is, who you say, or where you say you're going, who you say you are as a person. So these questions have got to be, they've got to be asked. I know there's this stupid cliche of like, well, I got to work my stuff out before I date anybody or get married. It's like, there's some truth to that. There is some truth. You do got to work some things out, but don't use that as an excuse because you're afraid of commitment or because you're afraid to answer those questions for yourself. You can say that you're going to answer them, but just keep putting off the commitment and putting off. So I think there's just, we're just not doing a very good job of teaching how to prepare 20 to 30-year-olds for that stuff,
Amen.
I mean, a lot of people in the church will say like, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. Well, probably because you didn't go into it the right way. Probably because you missed some stuff there. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Bullshit.
You've heard that. You've heard that.
Oh, for sure, dude. For sure. Try being single for 5 years. No dating, no nothing. Try being single for 5 years. Going through the routine, and to come tell me that, yeah, it's not all, marriage isn't all it's cracked up to be.
You give me a bat. Like let me get in a bat. Like let me
Yeah.
just like let me get a rep here. I'm gonna let me play linebacker for one play.
Yeah. So,
Watch what happens to their quarterback.
so
Full
you,
blown blitz. Everyone's blitzing, and I'm diving over the pile like in the
we've got to
split
know
second.
what we're doing. We've got to know why we're doing it. We've got to know where we're going and why we're going that direction. We've got to know that. Your partner has to know that. The person you want to marry's got to know that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
there's this dating thing that's like, especially in the Christian community, and I've been a part of it, man, where it's like, yeah, date whoever you want, get emotionally attached, but then you better draw that physical boundary and compartmentalize these feelings because you can't express them that way. And it's like, you got to date with the expectation that I'm moving towards marriage with this person. If you can't move towards marriage with that person, don't date them. Forget about it.
You're going to the hole.
Yeah,
Stay
yeah.
in the cave.
Because you're going to get emotionally attached, and if you can't see yourself getting married, you're going to deal with these physical feelings, these physical expressions that you want to, or this physical
It's real.
energy you want to express.
It's
Uh,
real.
yeah, I think there's some beauty in being single, and that, yeah, it prepares you for getting married. And if you, um, I think a lot of the people that say, yeah, it's not all that's cracked up to be, well, have you seen the other side? Have you been on the other side? Because it is a beautiful thing. We talked today in church about how it's not good for man to be alone. It's not good. There's a beautiful
That
thing.
was the talk today.
Yeah, it's spun off into a little bit different topic, but that was part of it. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Um,
Wish I was there for that.
yeah, and people will talk. I mean, we talked last week about this. Me and you did. We talked about Paul talking about how people will kind of use that verse of, or use some of his teachings as like, I don't know. Will twist the idea of marriage around with some of his, twist his teachings to kind of twist the idea of what marriage is, as if it's a bad thing, or as if it's like, um, I don't know. I don't know.
Um,
What do you got?
yeah, yeah. They first of all, Paul was on mission, and he was saying, like, we got stuff. Like, I just read it as like, we got stuff going on. Like, you guys can't control yourself. Like, there's a great design for this. It's called marriage. It's good. It's God
Yeah.
ordained, and you guys should have sex and have a lot of it because there's temptations to go. When the mailman knocks in the door. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but I'm just saying, like, how do his calves look after delivering packages for 15 years? You know what I mean? No hair, glistening in the sun. It's almost like he's doing it on purpose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that the one guy, the one mailman that whatever, 28 years old, trying to grind it out, handsome, great calves. You're in a tough season in your marriage. He looks a little, you guys are gonna probably, hopefully, there'd be some confession. Hopefully, they'd be like, "Honey, I was full blown lusting over the mailman today. Great calves on him." I would probably say I concur. I was looking at him too the other day. No, but my rant with that, like get involved, get right involved with it. But I couldn't help but seeing that like there's a preparation and a development issue here. That's the problem that I just keep seeing is like there's a development, there's a preparation, the heart of the preparation.
Sure.
Um, this is one of my core values is family and marriage and I hating divorce and just like really like I believe like God's given me a little piece of his heart in that it just some of the roads that I walked and some of the decisions that I made and some of the people that I've had relationships with and I've hurt them and because of my own insecurity and whatever on my own selfishness what have you but I'm just saying like the like the hatred towards and the importance of solid family structures for a young man to sit to to see his for a young man and woman to see their mother and father kissing and holding hands, and the value, like their children know the value of her in the house. Who's teaching that?
Yeah.
Who's teaching it? And so I think it starts with just like inside, or like just the call to man, and that leadership and what have you. So I think there's the issue could be resolved maybe with the development and the preparation. You hinted on that a couple times. That's what I would draw from
Development and
that.
preparation of
Of men and women and what marriage actually is, and the
right.
heart behind it, the true heart behind it.
But
And
if they want this, which there's an atmosphere and an environment that they want this out there, there's got to be some kind of preparation. There's got to be some kind of
the message has to change,
yeah.
and the teaching has to change, and the heart behind what you're saying has to change, I think. And it's like, stop talking about fear and anxiety. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to get excited, everybody, but
Sure.
like if I hear one more sermon on fear and anxiety, I'm going to hit the roof. Like, you're micromanaging, man.
Yeah.
You're wasting your time.
Right.
Here's the issue.
Right.
Build strong families. See what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to the root. Where's the foundation, right? Build the house well.
What's that?
Build the house well.
Yeah.
If the church isn't involved in building, I just think there's got to be a call. I don't know. It's got to be a call to building families and building strong relationships. I think that would cure a lot of statistics. Understanding, kids understanding what love is, what it means to see a husband value his wife. Like, well, how do you do that? What do we do that? Like designing, looking at God's word, and like actually just having, like, let's have legit, like we have all these group huddles and,
yeah.
violent, let's
you said having a husband care about his wife, like you can do that when the husband knows who he is and the wife knows who she is, and when they know what this marriage is.
Sure.
You can't do that when the husband is confused about who he is, the wife is confused about who she is, and they're confused about what this is.
Amen.
So
who are you? Yeah.
There's got to be some answers. There's got to be some questions answered. Yeah.
What else did I write down? How did we get to the point? I forget where that was going, but how do we get to the point where we are seeing? How do we get to the point where just like instead of micromanaging and talking sermons about, like, let's not be afraid anymore. It's like, I'm afraid. So preach about how to not be afraid. It's ridiculous.
Right. That's an environment. That's an environment that you create. Fear and anxiety are an environment that you create.
This is like, chiropractic philosophy, mental health counseling. There's a deeper issue at hand here. And let's you don't cut the whole tree. That tree eventually, may grow again or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to dig those roots up. You don't want that thing having, so let's get to the issue. Where are the roots, and so let's take care of the macros, and hopefully the micros will work themselves out.
Right. Yeah. You can't get the micros right and have the macros all out of balance. It'll just never work.
Like, of course we're all afraid because we haven't figured out we got to the depth of it. And whatever. I just think we probably need more, people like maybe you and I. Our next step would probably be a call to like build and do something. But
yeah.
To put it into action and really be like, okay, enough's enough. We're gonna just take charge and give our best foot forward to hopefully, pour into men. Like Paul wasn't married, but he preached about marriage, so
yeah.
While we're single trying to figure it out, let's maybe, I think that we could be called to maybe develop it. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm not going to, it's almost like even we just have this conversation, I'm like done shying away from maybe some of that. And maybe I'm going to have to sit with God and map out what would that look like to pour into people and really just help develop strong fathers, strong followers of Christ, men that know themselves. which is ultimately, so whoever sees this is R7, this is Vision 139, seeing your worth in Christ, but more important, not more importantly, but in an extension of just seeing understanding who you are, some of the gifts and talents, abilities you are, and understanding those things, and then, walking in them. And, there's going to be so many things pulling you left and right, up and down, but just committing to a path, just committing to, for example, excellence, every day, committing to something simple like excellence and hard work every day, or whatever we would draw out or help, God would draw out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got. I think it's probably enough. But yeah, just send us an email. Love to hear. Love to chat. Give me some ideas. Let's do something.
Goes back to accountability and responsibility. If you're afraid to
I
do
think
that,
so.
if you're afraid to do that, because nobody's afraid of the emotional connection with somebody. That's what we all want, We all want that. But when it comes down to the commitment, when it comes down to where are we going, who am I, who are you, there's some accountability and responsibility that needs to be taken, questions that need to be answered, and take a sit down and start asking some of these questions. You don't want to you don't want to go into it and get tidal waved, and then you're rolling around, with everybody else. You're rolling around with the rest of the world thinking about divorce.
How do we get to the point? This is when you're saying that, I literally had this thought. How do we get to the point where we're excited and wanting an opportunity, and then the opportunity presents itself, and you're ready to rock? I don't know what I was listening to the other day, but it's like you're so prepared, or you feel like you're so prepared that when that happens, Murph, you're up.
Yeah,
right wing, let's go.
I think you ask yourself these questions. So let's just, for example, say, what do I want? What do I want to do with my life? What do I want to do? You sit down and you ask yourself, what I want to do. You get a pen and a paper out and you start writing down some things that you like to do, some things that you're good at, some things that you don't want to do. Okay, we narrowed it down to these things. Now you start doing some research. You're doing some research and you do some visualization, meditate, or before bed, you're just thinking about you yourself doing those things. And you start doing some research. Like I said, think about those things, visualize those things, research those things. And then it's like, okay, now I know that from these three things, this is the one that I really want to focus on right now, and I want to go towards that. Okay, great. Start focusing energy towards that. Now you're researching just that. Now you're trying to find opportunities in whatever that field is, whatever that industry is, whatever that school is that you've got to get educated in. You're focusing energy on that, and when you focus energy, even if it's just mental energy, and you visualizing that future possibility, and you're visualizing that future possibility, you focus that energy, that possibility starts to present itself, because you start to materialize something that's not yet matter. And you can do that by your visualization, by visualizing what that thing is. So then once you start visualizing it, that opportunity starts to present itself. And I would even go so far as to say is look for those opportunities. Don't wait for something to present itself. Look for those opportunities. And none of them might work, but at least you're putting out there that you're putting that energy out there that you're looking for that opportunity. Continue to visualize exactly what that opportunity looks like, and eventually it's going to show up. Whether you find it or it finds you, it's going to show up. And then you're so ready by that point, you get into it. You make a decision and you say, yes, I'm doing this. I think that's where you get from point A, is sitting in your room asking yourself, well, what do I want to do? What job do I want to have? What do I want to study? Okay, I got to write these things down. Now I got to start doing some research. Now I got to narrow it down. Okay, I narrowed it down. Now I got to start sending energy out and visualizing this, literally visualizing myself doing this and getting that emotional chemical response inside of your body that makes your body think you've already had that experience. Because that experience is one of an infinite amount of possibilities for the next day or the next 2 days. There's an infinite amount of future possibilities that could happen. And nobody can argue that. There's an infinite amount of future possibilities that can happen. So you start focusing your energy by visualizing on that one possibility that you want to happen. that possibility starts to materialize. It starts to become matter, whether you find it by seeking it or it finds you because you put out so much energy that it was like it would drawn to you, literally drawn to you. I mean, quantum physics, Joe Dispenza, he talks about these things literally being drawn to you because of energy. 99% energy, 1% matter, or 99.9% energy and 0.01% matter is what we are. When it comes down to it, we used to think that we were, made up of so much matter, but modern day science will tell us right now that we're basically all energy. All matter is energy. It's mostly energy. And so when you put out energy, you connect or you disconnect from other things that have energy. And so, yeah. So I think the process looks like, think about it, write it down, visualize it, keep visualizing it, research
Right.
it, look for opportunities. And then by that time, you've already, thought so much about it. You've had that emotional experience as if it's already happened. You're hyped up about it. Your body thinks it's already been there. And then when it happens, you get there, you can't say no at that point because you've already invested so much. You've already
Right.
invested so much into it. You can't say no. You've literally drawn that opportunity to you. And that's
And
when
that
it's like, yeah, I'm on
yeah.
fire for that. I
Right.
got to do that.
And the research is showing that is like true. Like my dad actually is a blessing. He used to, growing up, he used to tell me to visualize. Like he always was telling me, like, before games, I'll always be visualizing. He had, be paying for me in college to do, like, USA Hockey had this like game on the computer for like helping your thinking, like plays and stuff. It's pretty sweet. So he
Yeah.
was always willing to, like, he's always teach, like he literally created me, helped me create. Like I believe God used him to help me think in terms of vision.
Sure.
Like I'm not shy of ideas, and um, my weakness is that staying on track. My weakness is like bringing it in, staying in my lane,
Yeah.
and that's something that I'm just developing now, and it's something we're harnessing. But as you start to develop and think about these things and really like live in them, it's now with like even more like my awareness of Christ and my awareness of who I am in Christ. Like it should be like it's going to be, I think, get to a point where it's stronger, it's more like intentional. Whereas like as a kid growing up, knowing what I wanted to do and being able to see it and think it and feel like know what I wanted to happen and be able to like visualize it or have dreams about it, those were, I didn't necessarily, wasn't being like, is this God, is that, I wasn't thinking like that. Now it's like God first had a thought, right? And then he spoke. Like he had a thought. He, like, you got to think like he was made man in his own image, and like what does that look like? And then you look at the brain and you look at the science. You look at how like and you're thinking about. I'm not saying like we're like, we're God. You know what I mean? We're gods, but I'm just saying like
The word became flesh. There was a thought, there was an emotion, there was a vision. There
yeah,
was
yeah.
something.
And it was predestined. Like you were predestined. Like before all that happened, you were already a thought, you were already a create, like in his God's mind. Like this is a high thought, but in his mind you were real, and then it happened in matter.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I mean?
Bulk it into matter. And the same thing when we obtain knowledge, whether it's what you want to do, who you want to be with, when we obtain knowledge and we draw ourselves to that experience, we have an emotion from that experience. And then when we memorize that emotion from that experience, it starts to become part of our being. And then that being literally becomes who we are. So when you apply those things, you can literally change who you are or what you're doing or who you want to be with. You can change those things or dial in those things and draw what you're looking for to you.
Sure.
So I think what Joe talks about is knowledge becoming an experience, becoming an emotion, which leads to a memorized emotion from that experience, which leads to being,
What
self-being.
is it? Knowledge becomes an emotion,
I could have butchered, yeah, I could have butchered that, but um,
becomes an
like
emotion.
when you learn something, an experience allows you to apply what you learn. So when you learn something, it's all mental.
Yeah,
An experience
yeah,
allows your body to
yeah.
learn that knowledge.
Right.
Then your mind produces a chemical emotion. That emotion, when it becomes memorized by the body, creates part of your being, or creates your whole being.
Yeah. So,
Just
yep.
by that knowledge, starting with that, just by knowledge, learning something.
Caroline Leaf says the same thing.
Yeah. So
She literally says the same thing.
I think
Thoughts give rise to emotion.
yeah, yeah. I think that's how that goes, that process. But literally, the word becoming flesh, it's in the scripture.
Yeah, he spoke that into being. Like he
Yeah.
spoke you into being. Like
Yeah.
that's insane. Like, we got to do a whole nother talk about the power of words. Maybe that's next week actually, because I can
Stay
knock some
tuned.
stuff. Yeah, but I
Stay
think
tuned.
that's good. But that's awesome. Thanks for
You got to sum
appreciate you.
up. So yeah, to sum it up, if you're gonna do marketing, check the newspaper ads. Relationships. Get ready for accountability. Get ready for responsibility. If you're not ready, don't look for it.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
And how do you figure out where you want to go?
How do we get people ready? That's the question I want to answer. Sorry.
Yeah, how do you get ready?
How do we get people ready for the game?
Yeah, that we could talk about that next week, because there's a lot we could talk about with that.
Yeah, and what's her name's on to something there too in her book. I'd love to get these people on. Imagine we get them on here. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, hey, if you're out there, if
We should just tweet this at them. See, that's what we're gonna get. As soon as we get this is going right at her.
yeah,
This is going right down there. Both of them, all three. We're gonna go hashtag Dispenza at Caroline Leaf at legit. You know,
I don't know
will
how
you
it works,
will
but
you come to 405 through Winthrop? Sit in Logan's room with them.
can we do an interview with you guys?
We just want to help, right? Like we just want this to hopefully awaken some people, right? And just
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
like it's okay to live, you know, like it's okay to live.
Yeah.
It's okay to try to like, you know, take life, like take life on, you know.
So if you want to email us and we'll talk about it on the next episode. Relationships is the topic. Do you have advice, problems? Do you have input? Do you have exput? What do you want?
Here it comes. Carly Fiorina, find your way.
Oh yeah.
You don't know what to do? You don't know what to do? Perfect. Do something. And not like what's his name's book, just do something. We're talking about show up, whatever you have in front of you, do it with hard work and excellence. She's talking about 5 minutes before, 5 minutes after. You know what I mean?
Love it.
Hard work, pursue excellence. And then you show up with that attitude day in and day out, something's going to move for you. And that's exactly, she's talking about, that's exactly what happened with me from a person who didn't know what the heck she wanted to do. But she showed up with purpose, or she showed up with hard work and excellence. Pursued excellence through hard work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And was faithful with little. Let that be a word to everyone out there who's like, I don't know what I'm doing. Just continue to be faithful. Work hard. You're at the factory. You're on the line. Be faithful with little. Be faithful with much. Do that with a heart and a mindset of like, you know, this may not be it, but I'm going to do it well. I'm going to do it so well that it can't go unnoticed.
Start becoming conscious of your subconscious. Start asking yourself these questions. What are you thinking throughout the day? What are you doing throughout the day? Do you like what you're doing throughout the day? If not, why? Start asking yourself these questions and start believing that like wherever you do want to go, it's possible to go there. It's possible to be there. And you can start living there by visualization. You can start living there and allowing your body to believe, allowing your mind to believe that you've already been there, that it's so real inside of your mind. You can believe that you've already been there.
You could be married with 3 kids living on the beach in Palm Springs.
Watch out though. You start visualizing that, watch out. watch out because it's gonna
Legit, hold on tight.
hold
'Cause
on.
if that's that real, and if that's pure and that's true, and that's a pure heart motive,
That
the benefit.
possibility is just as possible, just as real as you being single for the rest of your life.
Amen.
It's just as real. So when you start focusing energy to where you want to go, what you want, who you want to be with, watch out.
Go, Jane. Look out. Coming for you. We're going to edit that.
Yep, we'll edit that out.
All right. Godspeed.
Go on Mach 5. May God guide you on your quest.
Right into purpose. Right into a purpose. Like right into something that he would just, like God's in the people business.
And people will never go out of business.
You know what she said? You know what else Carly Fiorina said today? She said, seek problems. Run right into problems. Trying to help.
Yeah.
Run into them. And I'm literally like, tonight, there's a few problems.
Yeah.
I got a lot of opportunity and like ideas going on in my life right now. And it's like, I got to dial in the sights.
Yeah.
Just tonight, like I want to get off this phone and have a conversation with you about how we're going to develop this program of
The 405 program.
taking care. Get the 405.
Taking
Teach
care
them how
of business every day.
take care of business every way.
Oh, man. All right. Email us. We'll see you next week. Stay tuned for how do you get to where you want to be?
How do you get to where you want to be?
How do you prepare? See ya.
Yeah.